The one and only multiverse presents a grand unified theory. Dark matter. Dark energy. Fritz Zwicky, 1898–1974, age 76. Vera Rubin, 1928–2016, age 88. Pulling, pushing gravity currents. Web page and video are not AI generated. Your host, Richard E. Noer. Let's start with what space really is. First, there is primal space, with tiny bits of matter, and the space that matter movement creates. A non-polarized expanse. Then there is space, which has particles of tiny bits of matter, that are spinning, thus creating a particle in a particle C. A polarized dark matter medium. Now for a big reveal that everybody has assumed, but most certainly does not exist. Nothing, a spatial void of nothing, or an expanse of nothing, is pure nonsense. All of space is matter and its movement. If this space has tiny spinning spheres of matter, it creates a sea with magnetic properties. It is this space, and only this space, that is the medium for light, gravity, and electromagnetic waves. There is no such thing as a vast expanse of nothing. Conclusion: space is just like an atmosphere of air, but instead of molecules, it has polarized particles. Fritz Zwicky and Vera Rubin discovered without any doubt the existence of dark matter space. TM thinks that they should have gone one step further and proposed that all of the observable vast expanse could also be dark matter space, but alas, I can understand why they didn't do that. It was just too radical, and nobody would believe it, but I'm sure they thought of it. Einstein's field equations, also known as EFE, predicted the existence of black holes, gravitational waves, and cosmic expansion, but that's not how he thought the universe worked. So, he added a cosmological constant to his equations. That changed the universe into a static one. Later, after he realized that the universe seemed to be expanding, he said he had just made the biggest mistake of his life and corrected the formulas. That took care of the expanding universe, but gravity now becomes impossible to explain. We all know how he solved that. Gravity is the warping of space-time. Oh my, TM says that is a fudge factor and there must be a better solution. The other problem was the popular belief in the Big Bang inflation. According to Einstein, this is pure energy. That too is illogical because now you have to explain how energy creates matter. E=mc². This is just a mathematical formula with no solid evidence to back it up. TM says matter is conserved, energy is not. Therefore, changing energy into matter can't be done, and it violates all physical laws. The multiverse comes to the rescue. We have a simple and easily understood solution. Matter is not created because it is the substance of all existence. Energy, on the other hand, is a force that can be produced or eliminated. This is because in TM theory, energy is defined as the movement of matter, and potential energy is defined as a magnetic force, with stored expansion pressure, like a compressed spring. Dark energy, the stored energy of matter and its magnetism. Therefore matter is infallible and cannot become pure energy, or vice versa. No one has dared to endorse this solution because of the immense expanse of space. It is assumed that because space is so huge, there is no way matter and energy can fill this space. Don't assume, that's where you get into trouble. Use Encyclopedia 12. TM says it is nonsense to think of space as a sea of nothing, with matter and energy scattered about. Now, using known science, observations, relativity, evolution, mathematics, and logic, the answer is clear. Light waves, magnetic waves, gravity currents, and the expansion, contraction force, will only work as there is a medium to pass on this energy. The energies of light, sound, and gravity cannot exist or travel in and out of nothing. All energy exists because of matter. No matter, mass, no energy. Last, the belief in a singularity of pure energy, that created a single universe, and a single existence, in a single vacuum of space, is pure fanciful nonsense. Now for something you may not be aware of. People think that dark matter is invisible, but TM says that's a yes and no. You can see this matter when it vibrates in the light wave spectrum, streaming pressure oscillations. You can also detect it when it vibrates in the magnetic realm, streaming magnetic oscillations of radio, TV, radar, X, and gamma waves. So, atoms are not the only thing that can create light. When energetic dark matter particles are in a normal state of active and potential energy, they are capable of compression, expansion, polarized, pulling, pushing and vibrating streams. This in turn produces all known forms of energy in the dark matter medium that we can see and detect. This includes light. What is causing some of the universe to expand? TM has discovered that dark energy really is responsible for parts of the universe to expand, and other parts to condense. What? Yes, and this is why. Universal particles of the dark matter sea can change size but not the amount of matter, the sum of matter remains the same. When dark matter particles speed up their rotation, they get smaller with more polar force, heat, gravity, and magnetism. This shrinks space but creates stronger force fields. XCP dark energy. When dark matter particles expand, they get colder, lose heat, gravity and magnetic force, thus increasing space. XP dark energy. This behavior is what dark energy is all about. XP dark energy is an active expanding or exploding magnetic spatial force. C dark energy is a compressing compacting magnetic spatial force. Neither one is a current, but dark energy is definitely part of the gravity streams. The key to all these energy fluctuations is that the dark matter particles are permanently changing their magnetic spatial force fields, in and between them, but not the amount of matter. The sum of matter remains the same. It is the spinning properties of dark matter that creates this physical phenomena. Gravity, the shrinking and compacting of space because of universal particle spin, increasing, thus contracting each particle and pulling on more neighboring particles, thus setting up a cascading stream in dark matter space. It takes three energies, spin, contraction, and a pulling magnetic force to create the phenomena of a gravity current. B. Structures and bodies in space are made up of smaller spinning particles with more pulling force, which in turn pulls on the larger ones of space. That is what creates the gravity stream with a dark energy force. B. If a huge structure is producing gravity currents in space, and a smaller structure, body comes in between another body, gravity currents may pass right through the larger one, and capture the smaller one, or change its direction, or interfere with both of the body's movement. It all depends on the density mass index of the gravity currents and the density mass index of the structures. Conclusion: the big G force, G, is known as a polarized dark matter current that pulls in the dark matter medium. The force is known as gravity, but there are situations where it doesn't pull, it pushes. Anti-gravity. So the big G is really a polarized, pulling, pushing dark matter current. B. Dark energy on the other hand is a magnetic expansion, compacting force of dark matter particles in polarized space. So XCP dark energy is not a current, but, and here's the kicker, it is the unique magnetic force that all spinning dark matter particles have, in dark matter gravity currents. Dark energy, a magnetic force. All these events couldn't happen without the force of dark energy. A. The creation and spontaneous fusion of a star is only made possible because of gravity, anti-gravity, and the changing force of dark energy. C. Birth of stars. B. The expansion of dark matter particles caused by decreasing compression, spin, and polarized space. Space cooling, expanding, and losing energy, an XP dark energy force. C. The instant failure of magnetic lock, causing a violent expansion of compressed particles and their atomic quantum fields. Bang! This event compacts surrounding particles with less potential energy, which produces blinding light, searing heat, QLBHF particles, and breaks magnetic bonds. XCP dark energy. D. A black star supernova type 0, the release of all compressed matter of a black star, thus creating new polarized dark matter particles in super cold parts of the cosmos. XCP dark energy in this case stands for the exploding force of black star particles, then the compacting of primal space, thus the creation of more potential particle force. This event is what renews parts of the multiverse. It creates a new pristine polarized spatial medium, along with a new time stamp that will be able to explain the evolution of particles and bodies. The once mighty black star has been recycled, while creating extreme energy, but not matter. XCP dark energy, X dark energy, the active expansion movement of universal particles caused by decreasing spin and magnetism, thus expanding magnetic distance. Getting colder. B. XCP dark energy, the violent explosive failure of body or structure magnetic lock, thus causing a fast expansion, along with the compression, of other particle space. Bang. C. Dark energy is the active magnetic compressing of dark matter particles. D. P dark energy is the sum of X and C dark energy, and it can be active or static. E. Dark energy is an expanding or contracting force of dark matter particles in their magnetic space, that permanently expands the volume and force they occupy. This in turn increases or decreases the internal and external spatial area of all particles involved. Dark energy has a direct connection with the density mass index. More information on the energy, SML page. Pushing gravity. Sometimes called anti-gravity or a centrifugal force. Roller coasters are not just about gravity, they wouldn't be as much fun if there were no anti-gravity, and the AG streaming force. Current thinking is, dark energy is responsible for the cosmos getting bigger. The problem with this is, nobody knows how to explain it. Space is supposed to be mostly an expanse of nothing. TM says that this is not true for thousands of reasons. The presence of gravity, light waves, radio waves along with heat, pressure waves, and expansion-contracting energy, cannot exist in an expanse of nothing. The only way out of this dilemma is simple and easy to understand. It's all in how we define gravity, anti-gravity, dark matter, and dark energy. Anti-gravity is a unique, one-way, external, internal pushing magnetic current with a dark energy force, that moving bodies, structures create if they accelerate, decelerate, change course, or encounter a foreign magnetic flow in the medium of dark matter space. The foreign dark matter current can be either pulling like gravity, or pushing like anti-gravity. So now we have bodies moving through space encountering different flowing forces. This sets up a battle of which force has the most power. B. When bodies are moving in unison, relative to the surrounding magnetic flowing force, there will be no anti-gravitational current through the body. If the body accelerates with the flow, there will be more dark matter through the structure, thus creating a pushing anti-gravity stream in the body. Consequently, if the body accelerates against the magnetic flow, there will be a combined much greater anti-gravity current pushing force through the structure. See, now it gets interesting. If a body encounters a magnetic flow, perpendicular to its course of travel, the anti-gravitational current traveling through the structure will force a new magnetic path through the traveling body. This combines the perpendicular flow with the body's trajectory flow. The body's course of travel, and the new anti-gravity stream, now has a different magnetic path through the structure. This changes the body's course of travel. As you have probably figured out by now, there are countless variations of this scenario, depending on the power of each of the magnetic flows, but TM has put the basics in place. The internal gravitational force of the moving body depends on the power of the foreign magnetic flow encounter, gravity or anti-gravity, which in turn affects the course of the moving body. D. One more thing to get right: straight line streaming currents through bodies don't expand, they do the opposite. They cause an increased compression of the magnetic dark matter flow, and increase its polar magnetic force. If the anti-gravity pushing force is extreme, it can break magnetic bonds. Like when a meteor explodes while entering the Earth's atmosphere. A critical fact to remember: as time advances, gravity and anti-gravity in space will permanently change the size of their particle spatial magnetic force, but the combined gravity and internal energy streaming through interior bodies and structures, the particle flow compresses. This is because of the structure lock of the body, the streams can't expand. When gravity becomes anti-gravity, and exit the body, the new dark energy enhanced anti-gravity currents become an external straight line magnetic flow. This is because the streaming currents of dark matter particles through structures has been given more potential energy than open space. This is what creates a magnetic flow from all bodies traveling in a straight line. Spinning polar gravity, gravity and anti-gravity through bodies. Polarized streaming currents through bodies also can't expand, they do the opposite, they compact the magnetic dark matter flow. When gravity becomes anti-gravity, and exit the body, the new spinning enhanced anti-gravity currents become an external, spinning, pushing polar magnetic flow. This is because the streaming currents of dark matter particles through rotating structures has been given spin and more potential energy than open space. This is what creates a magnetic flow from all spinning bodies, structures in space. See, now get ready for a remarkable thing about dark matter space, and its many spinning magnetic flows. Rotating planets, stars, solar systems, and galaxies, all produce the same polar, rotating gravity, anti-gravity currents, and magnetic flows. The universe, cosmos, multiverse has a common physical relativity. It is none other than dark matter, dark energy, gravity, anti-gravity, and polar magnetism. There are no exceptions. This is what makes the grand unified theory, grand. Inertia. Inertia, physics, the tendency of a body to maintain its state of rest or uniform motion unless acted upon by an external force. What is inertia and how does it fit in with the multiverse theory? TM says if you think about this phenomenon in relation to gravity, anti-gravity currents, and structural density, it makes perfect sense. However, this solution won't work in the popular empty space, but it will if the body is stopped or traveling in a dark matter medium. A solution: if a body is traveling in a gravity current, it takes no imagination to figure out that the body must have an applied force to change its speed and/or direction. If a body is at rest and encounters a gravity field, the force of gravity will pull on the body, then cause it to accelerate and change speed and/or direction. Now it gets interesting. If a body is accelerating or decelerating through dark matter, it has established a bow wave and a trailing dark matter current. Eddy currents. If you apply force to the traveling body, it changes the bow wave and trailing current, thus forcing more or less dark matter through the body. This applied force has caused a pushing force, current in the body, which in turn has presented resistance. In other words, it takes force to change the moving structure. If the body is stopped in dark matter space, or flowing with a dark matter current, and you apply force to it, it will create anti-gravity currents traveling through the structure, thus presenting resistance. So, the tendency of a body to maintain its state of rest or uniform motion unless acted upon by an external force, is 99.9% accurate. I say 99.9% because, a body traveling in calm, dark matter space, and is neither accelerating, or decelerating, it would encounter a tiny magnetic resistive force of polarized dark matter space. The Pioneer anomaly. To repeat an important fact, dark energy permanently changes the size of dark matter particles and their magnetic force, but gravity, anti-gravity are only currents that flow through space. Now the kicker: these gravity currents have dark energy forces. So, the million-dollar answer to the question, what is causing the local expansion of the universe? It is none other than XCP dark energy, with its weakening force, and a decrease in magnetic compression, polarization, not anti-gravity. Hold on, we are not done yet. What is causing the shrinking of space? Answer: black stars and their gravity currents, plus a C dark energy force. Okay, now we're done. Multiverse. Your host, Richard E. Noer. Young me. Mini me. Email, noerastronomy@gmail.com. Here in a multiverse, our goal is to find the cosmic truth. No matter where, or how far it takes you, the universe truly does unify. If you get the basics right,